102.7 FM, the voice that echoes through every home, every heart. From the streets to the studio, we bring you real talk, real music, and real moments. We are not just a station, we are a movement. High Power 102.7 FM, the pride of the people.
The time is 12 o'clock. Good afternoon. Here's iPower 102.7 FM Media News. I am Inioluwa Adekoya. First, the headlines. INEC seeks security agencies' collaboration ahead by election. Tinubu meets with global investors in France. On the foreign scene, diplomatic pressure mounts on South Africa over attacks. And in sports, 3 English clubs jostle for Fisayo ahead summer window. Details of this and more in a moment. Please stay tuned. Glad to have you back, and now the news in detail, beginning from the home front. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Resident Electoral Commissioner for Ondo State, Dr. Mutiu Agboke, has called for the strengthening of existing collaboration between the Commission and security agencies in the state. Agboke made this call during a courtesy visit by the management team of INEC Ondo State to heads of security agencies in Akure. While addressing the Ondo State Director, Department of State Service DSS Sagiru Samala, Agboke stressed that the collaboration was necessary as preparations intensify for the Ondo South Senatorial District by-election on the 20th of June 2026. Moving away from that, President Bola Tinubu has met with global investors in his state's visit to France with assurance to remove economic distortion and stabilize macroeconomic indicators. In a statement signed by the presidential spokesperson, Bayo Ononuga, said the president is focused on translating his administration's reforms into concrete benefits for all Nigerians. President Tinubu further reiterated commitment to deepening reforms, enhancing transparency across the oil value chain, and implementing a multi-facet security strategy, including police decentralization and disrupting terrorist financing. Moving on, Austin Okai, a chieftain of the African Democratic Congress ADC, has called on Igbo leaders to caution the senator representing Abia North, Senator Orji Uzokalu, following his comments on the ongoing xenophobic attacks in South Africa. Report says that while the upper legislative chamber was deliberating on the disturbing attacks in South Africa, Orji Kalu warned lawmakers against reacting. Okai, in a post on Facebook, pointed out that Kalu kindred are even more affected in xenophobic attacks, yet he seems blinded by selfish interests. This media news is coming to you from iPower 102.7 FM in Inioluwa. Still to come on the foreign scene, diplomatic pressure mounts on South Africa over attacks. And in sports, 3 English clubs jostle for Fisayo ahead summer window.
Whether you're tuning in for breaking news, in-depth analysis, or community updates, High Power 102.7 FM remains your most trusted source. Because when it comes to news, the truth matters.
Hyper FM 102.7.
Welcome back. To be part of our program, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok at iPower1027FM. We are also on Radio Garden. And now to foreign matters. Diplomatic pressure on South Africa is mounting as more African countries threaten retaliatory measures over renewed xenophobic attacks targeting foreign nationals. While no government has officially announced the total closure of borders, threats and blockades, trade suspension and heightened security checks are gaining traction across the region in what foreign policy experts describe as a most serious diplomatic fallout since the end of apartheid. Neighboring states such as Lesotho, Zimbabwe, and Mozambique that count for the majority of South Africa's migrant population are on high alert, with many citizens seeking to return home as tension escalates. The latest wave of violence, which erupted between the 27th and the 29th of April 2026, saw locals in Pretoria, Johannesburg, and other cities stage protests against illegal immigration, with Nigerians and other African nationals bearing the brunt. Still talking foreign matters, the United States President Donald Trump has said great progress has been made towards the deal despite military clashes in the Strait of Hormuz in recent days. The announcement came after Secretary of the State Marco Rubio said the United States had completed its offensive operations against Iran with a vow to unleash a devastating response to any new attacks by the Iranians on shipping in the narrow waterway. The dispute over shipping route through Hormuz as well as Iran's nuclear program are at the heart of deadlocks talks between Washington and Tehran following 2 months of war, which began with U.S.-Israeli attacks in late February. And now to the sporting arena. English Premier League teams are monitoring Fisayo Bashiru as interest intensified in the Nigerian midfielder ahead of the summer transfer window. Reports said 3 unnamed clubs are tracking the Lazio star, with discussions about his future at the club expected at the end of the season. The former Sheffield player has 2 years left on his contract, and talks with Lazio over his future are expected to take place at the end of the season. The 24-year-old was earned 17 caps for Nigeria, has continued to attract attention despite limited opportunities in Syria. To end the iPower 102.7 FM Media News, let's take another look at the main point. We told you in the course of the bulletin that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner for Ondo State, Dr. Inioluwa Adekoya, has called for the strengthening of existing collaboration between the Commission and security agencies in the state. We also informed you that President Bola Tinubu has met with global investors in a state visit to France with assurance to remove economic distortion and stabilize macroeconomic indicators. On the foreign scene, we informed you that diplomatic pressure on South Africa is mounting as more African countries threaten retaliatory measures over renewed xenophobic attacks targeting foreign nationals. And finally, in the sporting arena, we informed you that English Premier League teams are monitoring Fisayo Bashiru as interest intensified in the Nigerian midfielder ahead of the summer transfer window. And that was the iPower 102.7 FM Media News, edited by Akin Adebayo. My name is Inioluwa Adekoya. Many thanks for listening and a beautiful afternoon to you.
ìròyìn ọjọ́ kan rí tí kò ní tàbí ṣùgbọ́n ojúlówó ìròyìn láti ìkànnì iPower 102.7 èmùrè òwò ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́.